Do do do. Just making sure everything's right. Alright. So, we're switching it up a little from Murder Mystery Machine to Rogue Lords. I've played through the tutorial just to check out how much it railroads you. Railroads you pretty hard for the tutorial. So I'm just going to give like the briefest rundown, and then I'm going to hop into that if you want to see the tutorial and all the lovely intro movie. Can I view the intro movie actually? No. Credits? No. I'm not the type to quit once I started, so should I just play through the tutorial? I'll just play through the tutorial again, then you can get the gist of it. So zipping my lips because it's gonna...
Many moons ago, mortals rose up against me and chased me down. They were led by demon hunters, wretched beings incapable of seeing the beauty of a corrupted world. My creatures and demons gave everything they had in the fight, but it was not enough. I was forced to leave the world of the living. Weakened, I returned to hell to survive. For years I consumed fresh souls to regain my power, but their numbers are fast diminishing. I cannot wait anymore. I must reclaim my rightful place. It is time to gather my forces once more. Those who signed a pact with me will do as I order. They will spread terror and corruption in my name. The time has come for my revenge.
I don't think the mic picks up on it, but there are a lot of crows outside. Just cawing away. Alright. Fortress, launch ventures, read both disciples, follow the perks.
I don't have many disciples left to send to the surface. My influence is a mere shadow of what it was before. I must assemble my followers. I don't have many disciples left to send to the surface. My influence is a mere shadow of what it was.
Oh, he's just repeating the same thing.
I must assemble
okay,
my
so
followers.
we start with Dracula. My eyes started twitching, so I kind of just stopped what I was saying. I don't remember how I was going to pronounce it. Dracula. That is not right. Dracula. There's a fancier way to say it, but my words fail me. We got Dracula.
I don't have many disciples.
We got Bloody Mary. And we got the Headless Horseman. I'm not sure what this is. I should have probably read that.
That reprobate Van Helsing. Not only did he humiliate me, he deprived me of my powers.
Alright. Further progress, stronger they become. It's just simple stuff.
Many years ago, I was banished from the terrestrial plane by Van Helsing and his demon hunters. Since then, I have reigned over hell while awaiting the hour of my return. But things are changing. The souls of the deceased no longer descend into hell. Have humans become more virtuous? Or is there a new force conspiring to usurp my power? I recall into service my disciples, powerful beings who once made a pact with me. They can move freely in this region called the New World, where I was undone by Van Helsing. They will find him and exact my revenge upon him.
In a perfect world. So as you can see, I could very easily leave this as random because we literally only have the 3, as you would have seen. But whatever. So the tutorial makes me make certain choices that I do not particularly like. When it comes to battle, and even through just conversation.
Through a renewed link with my disciples, I become aware of the situation in the new world. The demon hunters have increased their hold on the population. They are everywhere, on the roads, in the villages, patrolling and imposing a summary justice. On the other hand, no one has heard of the 6 artifacts stolen from me by Van Helsing during our last confrontation. If he is using them, he does not boast of it. My attention is drawn towards a new religion. The Sanctualumen, as it is called, is increasing its hold on humans. My disciples decide to go to one of its sanctuaries in order to learn more.
Oh man. Why did I just lose stream quality? It was running so well. Well. Click on the map to consult it.
Hard labor makes for tenacious souls. They're often the best.
Diabolic Essence is your main resource. If you run out of it, you lose. Essence can be lost during combats or used to boost your influence over the world of mortals. Souls can be won during combat or events. They can be traded at the Grim Reaper to obtain skills. Increase the rarity of skills you already have or obtain relics. As you accumulate events and combats, the terror you inspire grows. Each increase produces a terror effect on the zones on a subsequent night and gives you advantages. For every 4 increases, you move up a notch, permanently improving your chance to obtain higher rarity skills, and you receive a relic. And the railroading begins. It's not that I disagree with that one, it's just...
I heard you. You called me 3 times.
So, beginning of each turn, your enemies announce the actions they want. You have 5 action points shared among your disciples in order to thwart their attack. Once you finish, your enemies play their announced actions. Then a new turn begins with your enemy's announcement of their intentions.
What game are we playing?
And stab, I guess. It's like Dracula. I should have probably read that out loud, but I do understand how this works. When you use a skill, you play a charge and can be used until recharge. Each disciple possesses a recharge action that finish all their skills. Recharge actions vary from one disciple to another. For example, some have bonus effects that change their cost. Such as Dracula, who just recharges everyone's skills, which means this is a waste of, you know, I could have won. I could have won there. Exactly like this, because there are 2 of those moves I could have done. Alright, the vulnerability. Never mind. I'm just complaining for nothing.
A mortal that bows down before my power is a good mortal.
I forget, when this happens, you go into a vulnerable state. Bang. Place it in the open lot. Slot, not lot.
I sense many souls here. I must have them
Extra
all.
activities. And choose more skills. I'm pretty sure it railroads me again for attack choices. Dracula's about to hit serious damage. There's several ways to reduce symbolic damage. What skills that immediately damage imminent damage? What statuses the protector set pulls or negatively affect your enemies.
What game are we playing?
Mary is bloodthirsty, which translates to physical skills that can only target the weakest adversaries. Mary also possesses mirror that she places in front of the enemy of her choice when she recharges. Once her mirror is in place, all the skills she plays are reproduced on the mirror's target.
Mirror, mirror, who shall die tonight?
Reduce the damage and then stab. Honestly, that would have been so much easier to just attack twice with the mirror. Yeah, this horseman is a battle-hardened soldier who can take blows and dish them out. He gets reductions in damage and provocation status that allow him to redirect attacks to himself. When he suffers damage, his bitterness increases. At its maximum, his bitterness enables him to launch extremely potent skills.
Who should I kill?
Select on God.
On guard.
Certain effects allow you to apply a status to a character. These can have a number of charges or a duration in turns. If they have charges, they lose one charge each time they are triggered. If they have a duration, they can be launched several times for as long as they are active.
Our duel is coming to its close.
Bleeding will kill the enemy. End your turn.
I'll do likewise.
Dracula is a leader of men and was once a bloodthirsty warrior. He has earned his longevity by being extremely cautious in potentially deadly situations. This experience has given him a number of skills that benefit his whole team. When he becomes vulnerable, the warrior reawakens and some of his skills become devastating. Go into devil mode, which is basically cheat. Take your status. You don't need health.
My power is absolute. Not only yet, the most severe.
When a disciple is vulnerable and about to suffer damage, the devil protects it at the cost of as many diabolical essence as inflict damage. If a disciple is not vulnerable and about to suffer more damage than its current HP or SP, the damage surplus is cancelled. However, an attack hitting several times counts as many damage applications and can consume essence. Finish the fight by your own means, finally.
They're such frail creatures. itself.
Combine into one. I don't know why it wouldn't let me put it in the other open slot, but sure. And then we go over here, and this should let us restore the Diabolic Essence. Sorry about that. Waters of the sticks bubble up in the form of fountains at certain points, or certain spots, spread around the world. You can use water to...
Ah, the sticks, with the putrid corpses that... This forest isn't so terrifying. Not yet.
It's an event. Choose the prowler.
What are my orders?
Well, you know, Headless Horseman. Your disciples stumble upon a young man shooting at a straw mat with a crossbow. He's startled when he notices them and points his weapon in their direction. You are... I recognize you. My master told me about you. You're the devil's emissaries. I'm going to annihilate you and become a legend in my own time. I'll be the greatest demon hunter ever. Despite his boasting, the kid can barely hide the fact that he's shaking in his boots. You could almost feel sorry for him, but his naivety annoys you. There must be a way to use him to your advantage. The kid already fancies himself the new Van Helsing, even though he'd never looked evil in the face until a few minutes ago. The time has come to let him taste the secret horrors only you know. Headless Horseman looks the kid up and down suspiciously. So this has story progresses and the orders you receive. Go into double cheat mode.
It's high time I interfere.
Try the success gauge up to 100 and confirm the gauge.
Dice were loaded from the start. You give the orders, I carry them out.
As this horseman infiltrates the apprentice's mind to make his worst nightmares come true, shadow creatures begin crawling on the ground around him and over his skin. Anything goes when it comes to accomplishing my mission, even magic. And at my age, I'm very hard to impress. Congratulations. It's a soldier's duty to master all the weapons in his arsenal.
It's not my head, but it'll do.
Headless Horseman receives the following trait, Chilling Gaze.
Knowledge is power.
Dracula receives the following trait, Playful.
It's not my head, but it'll do.
Yes, thank you. The disciple sometimes react after social tests, depending on their temper. Each disciple has more or less chances to react positively. A reaction can either only involve the disciple who just passed the test or be a conversation with a member of the team. Reactions generate a trait for at least one of the participants, either positive or negative, depending on the reaction's nature. Living with terror, the apprentice hunter tries to kill them, but they are only illusions, and he can't even touch them. Finally, he falls to his knees before your disciple. Have pity. Make them stop. I'll do whatever you want. He is at Headless Horseman's mercy. What should he do with him? Headless Horseman explains to him that the only way to make the creatures disappear is by killing the other demon hunters he knows. Without a second's hesitation, the apprentice takes off running for the closest demon hunter refuge. It won't be long before the souls of those accursed upstarts are among your subjects.
Finally, fresh souls to torment.
It's not my head, but it'll do.
You're pretty fun. Second page, spellbook, the devil. Some pages of the relics you possess that are not linked to a specific disciple of his demonic powers. Wow. I should get some relics when I get the chance, but I think it forces me to upgrade, not get... I don't remember, honestly. In a secret meeting place hidden from mortals, your disciples meet with the Grim Reaper. It's time to do some business.
The conductor of souls finally deigns to show himself. Don't make him wait.
Buy a skill, that's what I thought. Let's see, I'll get the stabbing for Mary.
Take everything you can.
Okay, we'll take the deadly cash then. Buy a relic. We have to specifically get this one. Well, it begins combat with 2 haste. That's fine. Upgrade a skill by leaving the Grim Reaper. It's a skill. That's fair. Here we go.
My disciples enter the Sanctualumen Sanctuary and determine that it has well and truly replaced the old religions. Priest and warrior monks trained to fight the creatures of the night. Vampires and werewolves rot in silver cages. My disciples swoop upon this new enemy, and soon lifeless bodies litter the sanctuary's floor. A handful of survivors are charged with spreading the word of my return. We then leave for the last known bastion of Van Helsing.
Progress. I'm gonna go over here.
The curse will pay for that.
That's perfect. That's what I wanted. I mean, it's a negative effect, but it is what I wanted. Still move to cheat and avoid this threat.
You want something done right, do it yourself. The only limit to my power is my imagination.
Because that means I can do this event, then run into that portal, do that event. It does mean I have to skip over the Grim Reaper here. But I really don't care, because I want to do these events. when I played through the tutorial, I was like, ah, go this way. I like this way more. And then I was like, oh no. But the curse thing was very much lesser than what it is now. Like, I wasn't really losing anything. So it was just like, boop, 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 which all worked out. But, you know, whatever. Alright, Jesus. Ruse and stealth.
What are my orders?
The Sanctilumin's men are inside the walls of half-asleep travelers. Sanctilumin's men are inside the walls of half-asleep travelers preparing to submit the villagers to the question. They are convinced that several witches live in the area, and they're right. These fanatics of the light seem willing to do whatever it takes to eliminate the witches. With a little push from you, they might burn half-asleep travelers and all its inhabitants. But there might be a more subtle way to use them that would allow you to save the witches. Or... This is a village named Half-Asleep Travelers? That's really odd. Your disciples mix in among the crowd. It's both the best hiding place and the best position from which to influence the goings on. Headless Horseman is ready to act.
I don't like this
Well.
situation. Let's change it. The only limit to my power is my imagination.
Headstorm takes advantage of the crowd's agitation to help the witches escape from Sanctilumin. Once they stood down wall, they recognize Headless Horseman as one of your precious disciples. They merely fall to their knees before him and offer up all that their possessions value to thank him.
These relics will only make our conquest more bloody. Perfect.
That could be useful. Every 10 skills played, last ever played, superpower. Sacrifice skill you earn 30. I'm going to do what the temporal would be. How do you make it so people can't hear you? You didn't even go through the mirror. I work quickly and thoroughly. That's what we call discipline.
Really? It's for me?
It's not my head, but it'll do.
That still made no sense to me. But okay. Ooh, it's Circle of Rights. Ah, that's for the Grim Reaper. That works out even better. Cultism and ruse.
At your service, master.
Dracula. How's that? If you're coming to drop off a body, walk right back out and put it in the common grave. With this damned white plague ravaging the countryside, I don't have any space for new residents. And the worst part is that all these plague-infected bodies don't rot. There has to be some dark magic orc in there somewhere, I'm sure of it. I'd give anything to get rid of all these bodies. And the game tries to freeze. Obviously. Well, let's make a pact with the Grave Digger. The Grave Digger's anxiety is palpable. You offer to help him solve his problem in exchange for his soul. I'll sign all the pact you want if it will help me get rid of all these corpses. It's as if his soul were already yours. The only thing left to do is fill your end of the bargain and empty the cemetery of his residence.
I don't like this situation. Let's change it.
Might as well go all the way. Oh, that's quite the jump. though. I like how if you make it less, it's just as bad.
Limit to my power, my imagination.
Dracula forces the dead to rise from their graves so he can lead them out of the cemetery. You're already delighting in the ravages this army of phantoms will soon provoke. Relieved that he doesn't have to deal with all those bodies, the gravediggers signs your pact. Thanks to this new servant, the souls of the dead who are buried in the cemetery will be added to your might.
Souls rotted with vice.
Yeah, we already saw that. Unravens the devil sees. Wonderful. Well, that's that. Spells are extremely volatile weapons, but you did yourself proud. When you get to my age, very few things can still present a challenge worthy of name.
Knowledge is power.
It's not my head, but it'll do.
Knowledge is power.
I'm glad that everything was all positive.
Knowledge is power.
And the Grim Reaper's here, so we didn't really have to be concerned. Alright.
Simple mortal trinket.
You got the devouring charge now.
Ah, a conductor of souls. All those innocent souls I harvested will finally be of use.
After each combat, that would be a problem. I'll get one of these. Anything else that would be useful right now? I'll get this. I think that's it for now. Combat is coming up.
Tremble, laborers of the soil. The devil is coming to visit.
Do this. I'm not overly concerned about skills right now. For reasons that will become obvious. Then again, I have limited knowledge of what comes past certain things, so I'm probably messing with myself at this point. That's okay. Okay, so they're gonna damage themselves if they try to heal, which is good. Whatever. What does that do? Actually. Oh, by elect suppression. I'm dumb. I only got 1 point, which I can use actually. Take this medium. Okay, they just attack SP. That's not so terrible. You're gonna try to boost yourselves. Okay. So
What game are we playing?
let's just see if I can kill this one
Who
off
shall die tonight?
before there's anything else that needs to be worried about. Vulnerable, you're bleeding, you're dead. Okay.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Oh good, you're vulnerable too. That didn't work. That did not work as it was intended to.
What game are we playing? Dirt tastes like. Oh, you're going to.
We're just gonna say no to the medium. Does that... No, that should have killed you. Reduces loss of HP. That was a concern. This isn't gonna go well.
Not over yet, mortal. The most severe punishments await you. For abandoning me, disciples? Do you want to feel my wrath?
Okay, that's one down. I wasn't paying attention to the Aegis again.
Who should I kill?
God.
Hunger!
Is that unavailable? Ah, cost 5 bitterness. Okay.
Don't hold anything back. I'll do likewise.
That's okay. So, now I should be able to use this. I cannot use this. Okay.
I'm listening, Master. Darkness makes me strong.
Okay.
Cower before my omnipotence.
Alright. I'm fine with whatever happens. This game doesn't really mess with me. Or at least this chapter doesn't mess with me.
Screams of terror. Such sweet music to my ears.
I can't speak for the whole game, but the opening chapter doesn't mess with me. Oh.
Hillocks and fields as far
10
as
essence
the eye
and
can see.
max essence.
This scene lacks chaos.
Yes. Look at that, 60 max essence. Isn't that wonderful? Noxious hold out the sticks.
There's nothing like the vile waters of the Styx.
Look at that, we're already back up to 50. Now we head for the final combat. We reach the boss of this book.
I guide my disciples to Van Helsing's lair. He is there, surrounded by his men. He is waiting for us. The news of my return does not seem to have shaken him. And so battle is engaged.
This picture. And then
Van Helsing. Finally we meet again. Prepare to suffer an eternity of torment, mortal. I
And I will immediately tell you that this is not happening. We'll have her take this.
The dice were loaded from the start.
Who should I kill? On guard!
I'm parched.
What game are we playing? I want to
The honestly best you can do in this fight. I don't think I can afflict that. Oh, I can. What's this? Alteration. Base damage. Either way. Either way.
Dare you attack me, mortal?
Who should I kill? Don't have a chance.
I'm listening, Master.
Either way, we've failed. It's Van Helsing.
My disciples are defeated. Van Helsing brushed them aside with the swipe of a hand. What a humiliation. The growing influence of the Sanctuary Lumen has sapped my strength. I order my disciples to retreat towards a location from where we shall launch a different kind of attack.
Yep.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, that is how the cookie crumbles. A simple defeat at the hands of Van Helsing. So I've never actually looked past this. Like, okay. So I presume.
That reprobate Van Helsing. Not only did he humiliate me, he deprived me of my powers.
Yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna just
Have many disciples.
read through the biographies. And that's how we'll end the stream, because I've got other things that must be dealt with. And we're coming up on the time that if I start something, there won't be enough time to finish it. So I'm just gonna read the biographies, and we'll call that an end for this for today. Bloody Mary. Summon Bloody Mary 3 times. Oh, sorry, my brain. Summon Bloody Mary 3 times while standing in front of a mirror, and she will come to kill all the occupants of the house. Why? Even she does not know. Mary was the daughter of a country doctor, too intelligent and independent. She was soon accused of witchcraft. I could, however, have attested to the fact that she did not serve me. On the day of her marriage, somebody poisoned her wine, and her father declared her dead. She was buried with her wedding ring and the finely crafted mirror that her husband had just given her. Her father had lied. His daughter only appeared to be dead. He wanted to free her at nightfall and allow her to flee from the village. When he returned to the cemetery, he discovered to his horror that Mary had awoken too early and had suffocated in her grave. He called upon me and begged me to bring her back to life. In exchange, I took Mary's soul. Remembering nothing and very irate, she disappeared into her mirror. In the morning, there was nobody left to suspect that she was working for me. Dracula. The first of the vampires occupies a special place among the ranks of my disciples. None is as feared and revered as he. When alive more than 400 years ago, Prince Vlad Tepes ruled over Transylvania with cruelty. An astute strategist, he extended his influence and conquered numerous lands by the might of his sword. He gained the sobriquet of Impaler because of his favorite method of execution. His swift rise was brought to an abrupt halt when he was killed by his own men. Even these hardened warriors could no longer put up with the sight of his exactions, but evil is immortal. If Vlad's body did disappear for some time, he soon returned, transformed and thirstier for blood than ever. Thus was born the first of the vampires, Dracula, the only one able to transmit his dark gift through his own blood. His travels brought Dracula to the New World. He has long since adopted refined manners, but he remains the most powerful of the vampires, and a formidable combatant. The Headless Horseman. If the Headless Horseman could recall the circumstances of his death, he would turn red with embarrassment. Fortunately, he no longer has a head. While alive, Larry, a veteran Irish soldier, only had one weak spot: women. Whenever a damsel in distress crossed his path, he promised to take her wherever she desired. The woman spoke, and Larry listened, beguiled by the dulcet charms of her voice. They entered the disused graveyard, and she revealed her true identity: a headless specter. Wouldn't you notice? She decapitated Larry and left with the head. Separated from its brain, the body was somewhat disoriented when making a pact with me. He accepted an attorney to servitude in exchange for an opportunity to meet his assassin once more. He thought that he would recover his head when he caught her. He set about wandering the roads of the New World, angrily decapitating all those he met. This horseman has even forgotten his ridiculous first name, but he's an enthusiastic servant of mine, cutting off the heads of my enemies as he would that of his murderess. Who doesn't have a head, so... I don't particularly know what to tell you there. But this was basically the introduction to Rogue Lords. Is it early access? I don't remember if it's early access or not. I'm going to double check that before I say something I shouldn't say. It might already be released. Some part of me wants to say it's early access. I'm checking. Steam, go a little faster, please. No, it's not early access. It is out. It is very much out. It's a pretty fun game, if I must say. If I may say. Not must say. It is a pretty fun game. Recommend it. Mind you, I've only played through the prologue, but it feels like it's gonna be pretty good. Maybe doubt me if I'm wrong, but because it's only the prologue, but I still think it sets up a really good story. I should have looked. It's literally version 1.004. I would have known. Or 1.0.04. Oh well. For now, though, that is going to be the end of our stream. There's no stream tomorrow. Friday will be a bit of an earlier stream, but we will be returning to Murder Mystery Machine. Saturday is a slightly early stream. Meanwhile, Sunday and Monday should both be my regular time, which would be roughly an hour from when I'm ending this stream. Roughly, yeah. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful time, a wonderful day. Thank you again. This is the end of the stream. This is the end.